So then guys, we've recently just had a leak in for the MacBook Air M4 telling us its performance, and I want to share all the details with you about this and also tell you the latest and greatest on the MacBook Air M4 and also the expected release time when it's going to come out. So then, to begin with, let's just jump in right there. We've had a leak in showing us the benchmark scores for the M4 chip that is going to go inside of the MacBook Air baseline model. We can see here then for the single core performance in Geekbench 6 that we're getting about 3,684, and then for multi-core performance we're getting 15,288. So really this is just about 27% faster in single core performance, and then really that's about 30% or just over 30% in sort of multi-core kind of performance over what we got with the baseline M3 MacBook Air. And that is really impressive to see that we're going to get those gains in performance there just over the M3 chip. But then what about, say, the graphics kind of performance? What's happening here? Well, we actually also got another Geekbench sort of score here for the metal score. Well, the score came in at 54,806, and that's on par with very similar kind of scores to what we got with the iPad Pro M4 and also for the MacBook Pro M4 too. So this is quite good. Now, obviously, quite a lot of thinking here that this is the full fat GPU sort of scores that we've got here, and the same here as well with the actual CPU is what we got is obviously it's the 10-core version of this, not obviously say a 9-core and 8-core version. And if you didn't know already, the iMac, for example, there's an 8-core version inside of that. But moving on though from this, it does mean that the MacBook Air is definitely going to be a real powerhouse for a lot of you guys out there. But let's just go over a quick history lesson of where we are with the MacBook Air right now. So the MacBook Air design that we have at the moment has been around ever since the M2 model. And this was first introduced to us in 2022 when we got the current new design of the MacBook Air. It came in a 13.6-inch display, and it sports two USB-C ports at Thunderbolt 4 speeds. It also has got the MagSafe, and it is really thin. Gone is the old sort of wedge design that used to exist, say, like on the M1 MacBook Air, and you can also get it in lots of different colors like midnight, starlight, silver, and there's some great options for that. And it is one of the best-selling MacBooks out there right now. But skip over to 2023, Apple also introduced its bigger brother, what was the 15.6-inch MacBook Air. Essentially, it's got the same guts in performance and things like this, except for the baseline version comes out with the top normal version of the chip. So this was the normal version of the M2, it wasn't a bin version. You've got a bigger battery inside of it too, but really everything else is exactly the same amount of ports, the same sort of speeds with that, and then also like the screen was larger, but it's using very similar technology to what we had with the 13.6-inch version. But then move over to 2024, when we got to March time, we actually had a release there, and this was just a press release with the M4 put inside of the MacBook Air. Really, it was just the chip that was introduced to actually bring this in, to actually give the update that we had with it. There was nothing else that really had changed with the design or anything like that. You do have the ability that you can, say, use two monitors at the same time as long as you close the lid of the MacBook Air. But apart from that, really, that's the only kind of upgrades we had. But then I would also argue that we did have a mini upgrade at the end of 2024 when the M4 MacBook Pros came out. The baseline amount of RAM what you can get in any of the MacBook Air now starts at 16 gigabytes, and also you've got the choice of 24 gigabytes as well. But you'll probably want to know what the specs are going to be then for the M4 MacBook Air, and also what kind of upgrades we're going to see there. Well, the only sort of thing that we've been told is obviously we're going to get the baseline M4, and this base sort of version, the bin one I would call it, is going to go inside the likes of the 13.6-inch model. So with this, you're probably going to get, say, an 8 or a 9-core CPU that will be made up of 6 efficiency cores, and it will probably have, say, 2 performance cores or 3 performance cores. But then you can also pay probably $100 more to upgrade to the full fat version, what will give you 4 performance cores, so probably for $100 more with that. But that'll be in the 13.6-inch model. With the 15.6-inch model, you will not get a bin version. You'll get the full 10-core CPU version, and then also the 10-core GPU version in both of these too, what is really great to see. The only other kind of upgrade that we might be getting inside of the the MacBook Airs is that with the MacBook Pros, the last generation, the actual camera on the top here, the center stage camera, actually got upgraded inside the MacBook Pros, and maybe that Apple might pull this over to the MacBook Air so this can get the better sort of 12 megapixel sort of camera in there. It definitely is clearer, so maybe this might be pulled over, what will be really, really great to see. But apart from this, we're not expecting any kind of other big upgrades. The baseline amount of RAM is probably going to stay at 16 gigabytes, but we might be able to have the choice to go up to 32 gigabytes, because right now, like I said, it's 16 or 24 gigabytes with the M3. We might be able to go all the way up to 32 gigabytes as an option, just like the M4 MacBook Pro. You can do that with that right now. So we'll just have to wait and see on that one. Now, another device out there what has an M4 chip in it is the Mac Mini, but I've got a Mac Mini right here, and this doesn't have an M4 inside of it. This has an M4 Pro, and I'm giving this away to one lucky subscriber on this channel, this Mac Mini. This has the M4 Pro, the base sort of version inside it, 512 gigabytes of storage, 24 gigabytes of RAM, and like I said, this is going to be going away to one lucky subscriber at the end of March time. And you can enter into this giveaway right now. All you have to do at this stage is just put down into the comments below of what technology gear that you're hoping to get in 2025. It can be Apple related or not. So maybe you're going to be getting yourself a new Nintendo Switch 2. I'm definitely getting one of them. Maybe it's going to be a DJI drone. Maybe it's going to be an RTX, 5000 series graphics card from Nvidia, or maybe it's going to be the new MacBook Air or something else. Just let me know in the comments below. And that is the first stage, because the second stage of the giveaway is happening at the end of March time, where I'll be making a video giving you more details about it, including a form to fill into at that time. And in that video too, I will also be telling when I'm going to do the live stream for this Mac Mini. So you won't want to miss out on that video. So if you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. The last thing I want to say quickly to you guys is sadly there are still lots of scammers and spammers out there. People still impersonating, telling you to WhatsApp, Telegram, Instagram direct message. Please do ignore these people. Best 60 right here. Please do report them. So moving on then, what about the release date and price of the MacBook Air? Well, we just had the release of the iPhone 16e, and even the invitation did say that there was a new member of the family being introduced. This meant the family member to the iPhone 16 range, the 16e. So, with that, it wasn't expected that a new MacBook Air was going to come along with that. But there's still loads of new products we're expecting to see in springtime. And either Apple are going to do something very similar to what they've done with the iPhone 16e and sort of do a mini event or a press release, or what they might do is they might actually combine everything into one event. Because like I said, we've got the iPad Air to actually get the upgrade to the M4. We've got the M4 MacBook Airs, as you know here. We've got the iPad 11th generation, and also that possibility of that HomePad and HomeKit sort of security sort of system as well, all to come before summertime. And actually, we've actually seen leaks here to say us that the actual stock is going down with the MacBook Airs. And obviously with the leak that I've shown you today also means that someone's got their hands on a MacBook Air, because at the end of the day, it's been produced. So, you get the idea. They are ready, and they're going to be coming out super soon. So the best thing I would actually be saying is that probably in March time, coming up into next month, they're going to be released. But obviously the iPhone 16e will have to come out first before that time, before Apple make any announcement for this. For price-wise though, we're expecting that the MacBook Air pricing is going to stay exactly the same across the board for now. So, the actual starting prices are going to stay exactly the same for the 13-inch and the 15-inch, but we're also expecting the Apple to retain the M3 MacBook Air, and it will replace the M2 MacBook Air that's out there right now at the cheaper price. I think it starts at $1,000, but obviously on Amazon and things like this, you can probably pick it up at a better price a few months later down the line, what's going to be fantastic to hear. But with that as well, guys, it's time to wrap up this video too. So if you have enjoyed watching it, please do press the like button. If you want to hear the latest Apple news, reviews and comparisons, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. Until next time, guys, I'll see you really soon. Take care. Bye bye.